So there was a Turkish constitutional referendum held 2 days ago, and this is a big deal. Now, Turkish politics is not an area of expertise for myself, so I'm not going to pretend like I know a lot more than I do. I'm just going to give you some basic facts about what this means for the Middle East, because Turkey is right above, they are Syria's northern neighbor, and they are what some people call the gateway to the West from the Middle East, meaning that they tend to have secular values and, more Western culture, like freedom of speech, even though that's being cracked down on and will be cracked down on further under President Erdogan's rule. So this is just from Wikipedia, but it just gives some basic facts about it. A constitutional referendum was held throughout Turkey on April 16, 2017, on whether to approve 18 proposed amendments to the Turkish constitution that were brought forward by the Governing Justice and Development Party, AKP, and the National Movement Party, MHP. If approved, the office of Prime Minister would be abolished, and the existing parliamentary system of government would be replaced by an executive presidency, aka dictator, and a presidential system. The number of seats in parliament were proposed to be raised from 550 to 600, while the president was proposed to be given more control over the appointments to the Supreme Board of Justices and prosecutors. The referendum was held under a state of emergency that declared a failed military coup attempt in July 2016. Non-stapled ballots to... early results indicate 51... so this is... the vote was won 50.6 to 49.4, something like that. So Erdogan did exactly what it said there. He used the military coup as a way to gain back authority, because this was a failed military coup. It happened virtually overnight, and everybody knew the consequences. Either they took over the Turkish military, or Erdogan stays in control, and those who, fought against Erdogan and tried to overthrow him are in prison or no longer alive. So there's a lot going on here, and a lot of reasons why this means a lot to people in Western society, because, like I said, this was the gateway to the West, like many people called it. So the voter turnout was apparently 85%. We can't even get that for a presidential election. This was a referendum, even though it was essentially changing their whole system of government from the top. So no more parliament. It's basically a dictatorship, because the president now is appointing anybody he sees to any appointment, almost like we have the presidents pick their different department heads here, and we call that their cabinet. Well, it's similar over there, but they also get the president in Turkey will now have the authority to appoint justices and executive rule. So he has control over basically unrestricted power. There have also been like I said, a lot of people who are coming out against this. There were huge marches and protests about the no vote. For the no vote. They did not want the yes vote. The yes vote was heavily pushed through the state propaganda media. There were only a few different types of outlets that would even post anything negative in Erdogan's light, and this is no surprise, because Erdogan has jailed several journalists that were critical of him. So that is very reminiscent of an authoritarian dictatorship, and it's something that is never a good thing, or a fascist dictatorship. They're very similar, and this is more of a fascist dictatorship if it comes to fruition. If Erdogan wins in 2019, it's not a good thing, because that means that he will now have control until 2029, and he is cracking down on the freedom of speech, secular values. He wants to turn it into, I don't know what exactly, but he wants control. And we'll find out on the upcoming weeks what his agenda is. If it's to further crack down on, dissenting voices, which I'm sure he will be doing plenty of, and also what he's going to implement, because you don't want to gain control of an entire country and become dictator of it if you don't have a underlying agenda to do so. So let's just keep an eye on the situation, and I'll let you know as updates come in. So thanks. Comment, like, subscribe, the whole deal. I love you guys if you show me love only. Hey, what's up? Thank you for watching the Primo Show. If you like what I do, leave a comment below, subscribe, like the video, or go away. I never want to see you again. Just kidding. Come back and watch my stuff.